What's up, podcast fans? This is a very special episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast, where you're going to get to listen in as I do a strategy session with one of my coaching clients for my Transformation ReBoot program. The goal of each one of these strategy sessions is to help my client identify, analyze, and prepare ahead for their top transformation danger zones. If you think that you could benefit from a coaching session like this, you can head on over to millionpoundmission.com and check out all of the information on my Transformation ReBoot membership. Now, let's dive into the episode. All right, Tamar, welcome to your hot seat session. What would you like to focus on today?
So everything's going really well with the fasting, but I've hit a little bit of a plateau. So I've been doing calorie cycling like you suggested. I actually took out cheat meals this past week. And so I'm just wondering if there's something in addition to what I'm already doing that I can kind of tweak it a little bit more.
Okay. Well, let's describe and define the plateau a little bit. So how much weight have you dropped initially since you switched to the intermittent fasting protocol?
10 pounds.
Okay. And then we've just held at that weight, or is it fluctuated back and forth a little bit?
No, it's just held at that weight. So.
All right. So, and how long have you been doing it for?
6 weeks now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm wondering maybe if I'm eating too many carbs or,
Well, with weight loss, here's the thing that I want you to think about, and no one ever likes this conversation. So you got to look at it like averages. All right. So because it's like the stock market, like it's going to be a crazy journey, and we want to look at averages. So if you're dropping, usually I tell people if you're under 25% body fat, if you're losing a half a pound to a pound a week, that's good. If you're over 25% body fat, 1 to 2 pounds per week. So, right now we're looking at, a half a pound a week at 6 weeks would be 3 pounds. A pound would be 6 pounds. 2 pounds would be 12 pounds at the high end. So you're at 10 pounds, you're still at the high end of average results. As far as, and this is where people do the comparison thing. They're like, but my friend Johnny lost 20 pounds. And I'm like, well, Johnny weighs 400 pounds. So that's usually the scenario. It's like a much larger individual. So just think in those terms a little bit. I don't think we need to jump the gun and necessarily switch anything just yet, because technically what we're doing is working. We're having higher average numbers. And sometimes it's like a stair step where sometimes we're on the level part of the stair and sometimes we're on the drop part of the stair, but we're not going up the stairs. As long as that's not happening. And then you check the boxes of, are my stress levels good? Are my hormones acting normally? Am I sleeping well? If you can check those 3 boxes, and if you're not like feeling like you're starving, then I wouldn't change anything. We could dabble with dropping carbs a little bit and you'll probably get a positive response there. But I wouldn't, then when you work out, you could always be like, well, I'm going to just add a little bit of weight here, or I'm going to, go a little harder there. I don't think we need to add any extra time with our workouts, but just very minute little shifts in the gear. So, where have your carbs been at right now?
I would say anywhere between 120 to maybe 175.
Okay.
Grams.
So one tiny tweak we could make is on your lowest calorie day is just drop them quite a bit. Keep the calories the same, but maybe you do like a hashtag keto day or whatever. And instead of having it at like 125, put it at like, okay, on my low calorie day, I'm going to go below 50. And something simple like that. But then you're only doing it a couple times a week and it's a slight adjustment, but it might just be the thing just to nudge your body like, okay, and now we're really releasing some fat on those days. So I would keep it super simple like that. Because like I said, we're not going in the wrong direction. We're still averaging really good numbers. Just something that simple that might nudge things a little bit back in the right direction. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, I have trade shows coming up for the next 4 weeks. So I'm trying to really just kind of stay away from processed foods and that kind of thing. But if I keep the low calorie days, then, or low carb days on my low calorie days, that should be okay.
Yeah. I mean, And like I said, even if you don't change anything, if you do change something, that would be the one little tweak I would make. Otherwise, I think you're good. So if it doesn't mesh up well with your travel schedule, then I wouldn't even stress out over it at all. And so have you been traveling more the last few weeks, or has it been a normal level?
It's been pretty normal. I'm gone
Okay.
this week, next week, back
Okay.
for a week, and then gone for a week. After that, it should level out a little bit,
Okay.
which is good. But yeah, like I said before, it seems to be easier for me to stay on track now on the road because I've got such a nice little routine
Yeah.
developed.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the extra things on the side that I've got going on now is helping with accountability as well. So
Yeah. So, and sometimes people, they assume they jump into that stall category really quickly, you know,
yeah.
and it's like things are still going well. And, with a stall, you look at all those peripheral warning signs, like I talked about, like hormone disruptions, sleep disruptions, massive stress, habit disruptions. If all that's churning around, that'll cause a stall. But sometimes it's just like our body is just in a little bit of a shift, and maybe you're putting on some lean muscle. Like we don't, unless you go and get a DEXA scan every single day, we don't really know what the heck's going on specifically.
Right.
But we could look at all the surrounding factors and go, all right, I'm doing a lot of things where I'm driving towards health, and very few things that are, if any, that are driving in the opposite direction. So, I'm good, and just
Right.
let your body just be good with that for a little bit. And so one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram is Stella. Her account is Stella is Striving, and she's
Okay.
lost, like she's approaching 300 pounds lost. And
Wow.
she, each month, she posts the calendar year of what she's lost each month. And some months it's 20 pounds, some months it's 0 pounds, some months it's 5 pounds, some months it's 6. It's almost like completely random, and she's just on it, and she doesn't change what she's doing because of all that. Because maybe she's just getting stronger, maybe she's holding water weight, maybe it's a hormone issue. So it's focus more on my friend Fat Dag from Wise Advice podcast. He calls it attendance goals.
Hmm.
So we have those finish line goals. We have that weight loss goal that we want to cross, but don't grade ourselves pass fail on how we're doing towards that. That's where a stall really gets in our head. Grade
Hmm.
ourselves based off of our show up goals of, am I eating clean? Am I, accountable to my plan? Am I exercising? Am I sleeping? Those are the show up goals that we know that we can do or not do. And that's where we grade ourselves, because that's where we can improve our performance. Like there's no way I would give you like a pass fail goal situation of, all right, you're going to lose 10 pounds in the next month. And if you don't, fail, because we can't control that. Honestly, like maybe
Yeah.
we get bloated or sick, or, we just start holding water, and like that'd be the worst goal ever. But I could say, all right, tomorrow in the next month, I want you to track your food every day. I want you to drink a certain amount of water every day. I want you to try to your best to be in bed by this time or that time and sleep a certain amount. If you stress, I want you to add meditation. Those are all show up based goals that we can be like, yeah, I did that, or I didn't do it, or I did that to 80% effectiveness. And that's where the real, fine details that we can analyze are not, I lost 5 pounds, or I lost 6 pounds, or I lost 7 pounds. There's just so many things that build into that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think as far as like grading yourself on a show up goal ratio, I think you're crushing it. And
Hmm.
there's no reason to hit the panic button and go, all right, I've broken this, and now how do I fix it? 'Cause I don't think it's broke. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think part of me worries because I'm 43 now, and my mom hit menopause when she was 44, which I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh God, is this happening? Like, is everything going to stall out? How's my body going to react to it? So that's probably why some of the fear behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. And think about like, okay, that's a natural response of the body. It's chances are it's going to happen at some point. All right. Unless you're a unicorn. And so just start kind of getting in that situation and be like, all right, this eventually happens. So are the actions that I'm doing helping with the situation, hurting the situation? So all the stuff you're doing, is not going to hurt that situation. And if your body starts giving you signs and symptoms of like, okay, menopause is now happening, and we work with health professionals to figure out that. But, breaking, not doing intermittent fasting or not exercising or not being accountable, like none of that would be a good decision. And so we're not going to base our program decisions off of menopause happening or not happening or being nervous about it. And we're not going to grade ourselves or judge ourselves over that either. It's just like really hone it when we're hitting those big life-changing moments. We have to hone in on the fundamental stuff that we know always works and really just grade ourselves on showing up for those things. And, because this other life stuff, like it's going to happen, and does that make things easier? No. I'm going to turn 40 next year and all the research is like male testosterone plummets in your 40s. And I'm like, this deal is probably going to happen at some point. So how can I eat? How can I sleep? How can I meditate? How can I fuel my body? How can I supplement at this point to mitigate that as much as possible? And the same thing happens for the females with menopause. So we can all just, do the best that we can with what we got in the current life situation. Right.
Oh, for sure. And I'm trying to fit into my trade show pants right now because I'm not buying another pair of khakis because I'll never wear them again. So they're a little snug, but I'm hoping, that's the big push too. I'm like, damn it, I'm not buying another pair of khaki pants for this time.
My trade show pants.
So I'm like, I'm
nice.
fitting into those damn things.
Yeah.
So
just don't split them. That won't help with the trade show sales.
I have 2 pairs. So
back up.
That's right.
Good. But no, that's good. And you've got a nice little barometer there. And like, I love those clothing situations. Like there's no going back. I've gotten rid of all the other options. Like I always tell people, like you can keep your bigger clothes from a heavier version of you for a little bit, but if it's been 6 months, let's get rid of those suckers. There's no reason to have them, and we just went through the whole minimalism challenge inside the community, and you've been, doing that deal, and that was fun.
I throw away a whole room.
Boom, minimalism.
Yeah.
But it's fun, like little stuff like that. It's had a huge impact in my life, just creating momentum from just, not having that clutter. Like if my desk is cluttered, my mind is cluttered, if my kitchen's cluttered, I have a hard time meal prepping and things like that. So, I hope you guys got something out of that. Did you feel better when you're like, okay, I got rid of all this room of cluttery mess?
Oh yeah. I think it was day 6. I just went into the spare bedroom and that's kind of where I set up my little desk with my microphone. And I'm super proud of that little corner, but I'm like, you know what, screw this. And I just took everything out of the closet and Gene came in. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm chucking it all.
Yeah. There's always those like, screw this moments in a decluttering journey when you just start, you cross that threshold. Usually it starts when you get rid of your first like sentimental item or something that you spent a good amount of money on. Once you get past that, you're like, everything goes. It's awesome.
Exactly. I already did it with the clothes. I got rid of everything that's too big. And it's just the damn trade show pants. My boss said, did you buy some pants? I'm like, nope, don't need to. I'm going to fit into my old ones.
Yes. Operation Trade Show Pants.
That's right.
That's great. And we'll get you in those suckers come hell or high water tomorrow. It's happening.
I'm fitting into them. It is happening.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, you got a lot of good stuff going on, and I know you're going to launch your own podcast, which I'm super psyched to support you with. And so, with your decluttering, were you able to clear out a little bit of space that's your podcast zone?
Oh yeah, I spend a lot of my weekend in there now, and so Gene's not loving it because he's like, "You gonna sit in there all day?" I'm like, "Maybe." It's just a nice little space that I made for myself. So it's been a lot of fun. And even that has really kept me accountable because now I'm putting it out there. So I like challenges and I don't want to say something and not do it.
Yeah. And I just like, when I started podcasting, I felt like a part of my soul kind of lit up and I was able to get my message out there and people started listening. Like that is a big part of what drives me, is knowing that I feel like I have important things to say, and then that connecting with somebody and all of a sudden like they're giving me feedback like, yeah, that did make a difference. It's pretty damn cool. So you'll definitely get there, and I'll be there to support you every step of the way, and I'll hold you accountable, and I'll keep you going. That's the key thing, right?
You bet.
Well, cool. Well, we'll look forward to when you're in launch mode with that. We'll spread the word. But no, I think as far as your health and fitness stuff, let's stay the course. And if it makes sense to drop the carbs a little bit, let's do that. But otherwise, just focus on those show upable measuring points. And I think like I said, you're crushing in all those. So I think we're good. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're someone that has been sucked into that black hole of weight loss doom, where you lose that weight, you gain it back over and over and over again, I would love to help you out by providing you with some coaching, a rock solid monthly game plan, and I'm going to plug you into an amazing transformation tribe of like-minded people. Head on over to millionpoundmission.com and get all of the information on my Transformation ReBoot membership. See you on the next episode.